Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm doing another little book passage reading, again from Nourishing Wisdom. The last passage that we read from this book was all about the quest for the perfect diet, so you can go and you can find that in my videos. Today we're going to be talking about the good food, bad food mentality. So let's just dive into here what Mark David, the author of Nourishing Wisdom, has to say about good food, bad food. Many of us, whether we are aware of it or not, have a laundry list of good foods and bad foods. Good foods are those that are believed to be healthy and somehow make you a better person if you eat them. And bad foods are believed to damage the body and make you a bad person if you eat them. What I suggest here, and what is perhaps one of the most crucial points of this book, is that there is no such thing as a good food or a bad food. This was really hard for me to understand and to really switch my viewpoint on this. But there are bad foods, right? But that food is fried in canola oil and it's there's sugar and there's all these things, and it's so easy to just demonize and just slap this label and say bad. And then when we do that, of course, like he's saying, we essentially become bad for eating those things. And that's where it really starts tying and playing into our view of ourselves and the self-worth that we have. I am not saying that different foods do not have either positive or negative effects on health. I am saying that no food is morally good or morally corrupt. For instance, when people say sugar is bad, there's often a hidden judgment that sugar itself is evil. Sugar may have negative effects on health, but I know of no candy bars that have ever conspired to rot people's teeth, nor do I know of any food that comes with the good housekeeping seal of approval from God and his legions of angels. Food is neither good nor evil. It is neutral. I'm going to skip around a little bit here. He goes on to say, since we view particular foods as bad, we consider our desire for those foods bad, which leads to seeing ourselves as bad for having that desire. How many of you guys feel so guilty after eating like a piece of cake? Or you have to go on this like intense exercise regime for the next 3 weeks just to undo one meal that you had. And if in addition we give in to this desire, then we punish ourselves by feeling guilty, or we deprive ourselves for the desired foods for months. Spot on there. Many people play a game I call hide and go eat. Because they have labeled certain foods bad, sugar, ice cream, cake, etc., the act of eating them constitutes a crime. And as any good criminals know, the best way to commit a crime is to do so in secret. They hide donuts deep in the linen closet or conceal candy bars under the bed covers and eat them when no one is around. In fact, people will conceal anything they have labeled bad in hope that no one will discover their criminal nature. This includes sexual desire, desire for money and power, or any personal quality they feel ashamed of. Often, many have no desire for a particular food, but are attracted to it simply because it is forbidden or considered bad by others. Now that's a huge point right there. So, how many of us feel like we have to sneak some of the food, or we don't like eating in front of other people? I used to feel this way a lot, like in front of people, I was perfect, right? Oh no, I'll pass on the cake. Like, I don't need dessert. I don't need butter on my rice. I don't need to eat the cheese on top. So, like, perfect with everything, right? And then I would go home and binge on, like, the whole thing of cake. So, it set me up for this really awful relationship with food where I saw it as such a bad thing instead of just being like, yeah, I'm a person who eats cake. I'm not a bad person for eating cake. There's nothing inherently or morally bad about eating a piece of cake. Let's move on here. This is another passage. How moralizing affects the body. The implication of seeing food as morally good or evil runs even deeper, for when labeling food in this way, we instantly suppress the natural flow of biological information. We cut off the rich and complex messages that the body would otherwise feed back to us about the food we are eating. Let me explain this principle a little more roundaboutly. Say, for instance, that a person you have never met walks into the room, and I say to you, avoid that man. He is a bad person. chances are you will believe me. You will never get to know him, understand him, or experience his depth simply because of his initial judgment. The man might very well be a saint or a potential best friend, yet labeling him as bad has stopped your exploration process. The same is true for food. If you conclude in your mind that chocolate is bad, you have not experienced this in the body. You have made a mental conclusion without the necessary physiological input. It's like deciding your bathwater is too cold without having put your finger in it. By coming to food without any preconceived moral judgments, we have an openness that allows for biological questioning and exploration. How does the chocolate affect my energy level? Does it hurt my teeth? Does it give me a headache? Do pimples appear on my face the next day? Do I feel drained an hour later? Does chocolate have positive effects on my body? Do certain brands of chocolate seem to be better for me than others? Is there any difference in how I feel when waking up in the morning after eating chocolate at night? Does a certain amount of work well for me, but anything more than that cause undesirable effects? Does it work well for me on some days, but not on others? By listening to your body feedback and being open and attentive to the food we eat, we begin to make connections and draw conclusions between what we eat and how we feel. We discover pertinent information about our nutritional needs that no book could ever teach us. So important. So important there, guys. How many things have you said, oh no, dairy's bad. I can't do dairy. I can't put butter on anything. I can't put cheese on anything. And you come up with this whole story in your head that dairy's going to make you bloated. Dairy's going to give you inflammation. Dairy's going to do all these things. But it's in reality, if you eat dairy, does it actually do that though? Does it actually do that? And I do have to say, placebo effect is real. So if you're coming to the dairy being this is going to bloat me, and you're eating it in that type of energy, then it's probably going to lead to bloating. But if you ate that dairy with no guilt, no shame, and open energy towards it, does the dairy really affect you? Here's the thing. You need to decide, and you need to figure out for yourself if that affects you. I like how he gave the whole chocolate example, because this is actually something that I've had to learn for myself. We've been told for years and years that dark chocolate is better for you. The darker, the better, right? Well, you want to know what happens to me when I eat dark chocolate? And I did this for years. I would only eat dark chocolate because that's the only chocolate that's healthy, right? I get really, really, really bad anxiety attacks when I eat dark chocolate. Something in that caffeine, just it completely, I won't sleep the whole night. It drives me absolutely insane. I definitely break out on my face the next day. I have just heart palpitations. The darker the chocolate I eat, the more intense my symptoms are. Oddly enough, if I eat a 50% chocolate bar, totally fine. Milk chocolate, totally fine. But it's bad, but there's more sugar in that, but there's milk in the milk chocolate. Yeah, and guess what? When I eat it, my body actually enjoys it and actually likes it and doesn't give me all these negative symptoms. So say what you will about it. All you scientists and doctors and lab coats telling me that milk chocolate is bad, but when I eat it, it works better for me than when I have dark chocolate. So I need to listen to that. I need to honor that. And I did it for years. I had anxiety attack for years because I would eat chocolate right before bed, and it would just throw me off in this whole huge anxiety attack, and I wouldn't sleep for hours and hours and hours. So you got to take it back into your body. How does this make me feel? And that is your best way to health. But here's the thing, you got to get out of your head in order to do that. You have to stop demonizing certain foods and stop telling yourself that certain foods are bad and going to make you sick in order to do that. I don't care what they say about that food. If you feel fine with it, you feel fine with it. And we got to look at not just feel fine in that moment, but also overall, zoom out. How is your health? How are you feeling with the type of food that you're eating? If you zoom out and go, well, I don't have a period, don't have any sex drive, I have osteoporosis, I have achy joints, I have brain fog, I have all these things going on, then okay, we need to look at what's going on here nutritionally, what you're eating, and we got to listen to that. We got to switch some things up. Maybe that vegan diet is not healthy because, hey, if you don't have a period, you're not healthy. I don't care how many people online say that a vegan diet is healthy. If you eat a vegan diet and you have signs of low metabolism, if you have all these negative symptoms, then it's not healthy. And you have to just learn to accept that. The good and bad food mentality is going to lead to so much guilt around food. It's not healthy, guys. The healthiest thing that you can do is to eat food without this sense of shame and guilt and I'm doing something bad. That's the healthiest thing. That is the most important nutritional thing that you should be looking out for, is getting rid of vitamin G guilt and vitamin B bad foods. Get rid of them. You don't need them. They're not essential at all for health. In fact, they will deplete your health. So I hope that was fascinating for you guys. If you got something good out of this, please jot your insights down below in the comment section. I think that will be really helpful for other people to read as well. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified every time I come out with a new video. And make sure you follow me on Instagram @FlowWithGlow. I'm there every single day. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.